At the gate, and he says, she's passing, and he says, would you just for a moment get me some water? She says, I can do that. And he says, while you're on your way to do that, could you bring me back a piece of bread in your hand? Now, she was on her way to get the water. She had no problem getting that. But then he asked for something she didn't have. It's one thing to give God what you can get. But isn't it something how when we are on our way to get what we know we can get, that God asks us for what we can't get. I know it's quiet right there. Isn't it something and isn't it odd most of the time that when God asks us for something that we can't give, it's right when we're ready to give what we can give? You see, we don't have a problem giving what we can. I'm giving all I can. I'm doing everything I can to messing with what we don't have that much of. You know, preacher, look, you can have what I can give. Because time and tradition has taught us to do what we can. And the preacher says, everybody just do the best you can. And he robs us when we ask for the best that we can do. We are robbed of the miracles that God has for us, because a lot of times God doesn't want what you can do. He wants what you can't do.
Right.
Yeah. Because she's ready to focus on her not enough. Isn't it like us when God begins to challenge us, we focus on our not enough? But Elijah, remember, Elisha is a representation of the presence of God. Elisha is a representation of what? The presence of God. So he challenges her in the area of her lack. She speaks out of lack. And Elijah doesn't deal with it. He says, fear not. Go and do. 2 words. Go and do. Your yes is in your going and your doing. Your yes is in what? You're going and you're doing. You can say yes all day and do nothing. And this is what causes us to live in lack but talk in abundance. I choose not to live in lack and talk in abundance. My yes that comes out of my mouth is going to be backed up with the yes that comes from my body. The Bible says when Elijah told her what to do, she went to her house. She went home. And she put her hands to it. She put those hands to work. She took what she had. And she did what the prophet said. She went and she did. The first word, to go. The second word, to do. She took him at his word. You see, when you take God at his word. Now, what he told her was this. Get the meal, get the oil, because the meal won't waste. In other words, worms are not going to come eat up. Because you know if you leave meal long enough, worms come. He said that the word was that the meal was not going to waste. Neither will the oil waste. In other words, when you do what God has told you to do with your not enough, what God is going to cause is going to be, he's going to stop the spirit of waste in your house. That's going to bring forth abundance. He said the meal's not going to waste, neither is the oil. So the moment her hands lined up with her faith, and she began to work her hands. New Birth, we've got to begin to work our hands. There's something in your hands that will cause things to multiply. In your hands. Says yes. My soul says yes. My soul says yes. Oh, my soul says yes. All of my days, yes. Oh, yes. For when he gave his best. Tonight my soul says yes. Soul says yes. Give him my yes. I'm going to go and do yes. Oh yes. Soul says yes. For when he gave his best. Father, as we stand tonight,